Wow, what a softball interview that was. Did you see that interview by Robin Roberts of Good Morning America with Jussie Smollette? Softball questions. She really didn't get into it. It was unbelievable. I mean, no pressing them pretty much whatsoever. And you know, the funny thing is, I'll bet you that even the Good Morning America crew there, even despite all the softball questions, I don't think deep down they really believed Jussie Smollette. But guess what? If you think like George Stephanopoulos could have said something like, hey, why the hell doesn't he just turn over his phone records, turn over his phone to the police instead of redacted records? But you know what? He didn't do that because you can't do that in the mainstream media now. If you do something like that, you're out. So, but the interesting thing is, people that aren't in the mainstream media, we're talking about like normal people, they pretty much all don't believe him, even after that softball interview. I checked Twitter, virtually nobody is buying the Jussie Smollette story. But there is one group of people that still accept his story as true, that Fable, and that's the DUmmies. Now, I haven't found any comment by the DUmmies since the interview took place this morning. Maybe it was even too much for them to swallow the Smollette fable. But I'm going to take a look at least two dummy threads right now. The first is when the story first broke on January 29th of this year. And then the next one is a more recent one. And you'll see there are some doubts in both threads, but they have to keep it very subdued because the official line in DUmmieland is, "We must believe Jussie. It must be true." So let's go to the first one here. This is January 29th. And here's the headline. It says, Empire star hospitalized after possible homophobic attack in Chicago. And it just basically recounts the details. Jussie Smollette brutally attacked by two men, blah, 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 blah. And then now here's the reaction. Here's the reaction from the DUmmies. What? Thugs just happen to have masks and a rope with them? Uh-oh. You notice the first reaction was a little bit of skepticism here, but that won't last too long. Here, I wonder how they would know. Yeah, there was a claim that they were stalking him. So it says here, I wonder how they would know unless they were stalking him. Yeah, 2 a.m, sub-zero weather. They're just going to stand out there on a hope that Jussie would come out for a Subway sandwich. Yeah, that's just something I'd love to do. Cold, freezing, sub-zero weather. I mean, I'm here in Florida. If it gets below 50 degrees, forget it. I'm not hanging around outside, much less stalk somebody. Oh, here's a theory. Looks like it was premeditated. He had received threatening letters. He was stalked. Yes, they waited all night. Now, here's a little bit of skepticism again. And bleach? And just happened to ambush him leaving a Subway at 2 a.m.? They must have left Kanye's Superman cape in the truck. Here, another. And a jug of bleach? That's bizarre. Yeah, well, guess what? It was sub-zero weather that night. I believe it was 8 degrees below zero, and bleach freezes around 19 degrees above zero. So, you know, if no bleach could have poured out of any jug because it would have been frozen. You know, I don't know why do people think they can get away with these hate crimes? Because you know what? The facts they just stumble over the facts. You know, like, for example, the whole idea about bleach, you know, not thinking, oh, wait a minute, have I thought out that maybe bleach could be frozen? Or about the phone? That like, didn't it occur to Jussie Smollette that they would want to look at his phone when he claimed that he was talking to somebody at the time he was attacked? So, you know, it all falls apart. See, the thing is, with the social media out there, you got like 10 million people out there sifting through all these facts. You know, so these inconsistencies always come out. So here's another bit of skepticism. Bleach, rope, ski masks at 2 a.m. at Subway. Something seems awfully fishy about this. Don't be saying so much about that. You're going to get in trouble. That are skeptical, they're a little bit nervous about expressing it because they get condemned pretty rapidly. Here's one here. He's a little bit nervous. I didn't want to be the first to notice that. Even if it was known he was going to be in town, would people really be waiting at 2 a.m. for him to randomly exit his hotel? There should also be cameras around, too. We'll see. Yeah, well, we didn't see. We didn't see anything on those cameras. All the surveillance cameras, and none of them picked up the attack, the prelude to the attack, or after the attack. Somehow that, with all the surveillance cameras around, none of them picked that up. Okay, you just saw the January 29th thread, but what have the dummies been saying recently? Well, not much. I think they're even embarrassed by how this is turning out, but they are still enforcing the official PC line that Jussie must be telling the truth. And here's the most recent thread on this from February 10th. That's last Sunday. So just a few days ago, 5 days ago. So here we go, official line, and here's the enforcer, is Dummie Effie Black. It says, remember when Jussie Smollette reported being attacked in a horrific anti-gay, anti-black hate crime? And people here question the story because he didn't want to give his phone to the police so they could confirm a statement that he was on the phone with his manager at the time of the attack. Yeah. Has he ever given it? No. And remember when we said that maybe he didn't want to turn over his phone because it had lots of unrelated personal information on it, and the police could get the information they wanted through other means. And besides, he had good reason not to trust the Chicago police. We were told that if he were really telling the truth and had actually been attacked, he would have no problem cooperating with the police. And so his refusal to cooperate with the police on this one particular thing, even if he thought what they were asking was an invasion of his privacy, was proof that he was likely lying about the incident. Yeah, me too. Yeah, well, Dummie Effie Black, I got to wonder if you're still believing it. But that's the official, they're like enforcing their PC line. You know, and by the way, something similar in the mainstream media. You know, they could really be thinking, hey, this guy is full of it. He's not telling the truth. But you think they're going to say it out loud like anybody on that Good Morning America set? Yeah, I remember it well. Seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? And then here, uh-oh, Beaky Bird, you could be in trouble. Is there proof besides his word that he was attacked? You can't question the official line. Oh, then here, there's physical attack that he was assaulted. Why do you ask? Yeah, a little scratch on his cheek. That was it. A scratch on his cheek that he was assaulted. Yeah, you know, by the way, if people are stalking him until 2 a.m. and they finally get to him, do you think after all that effort, they're just going to leave him with a little scratch on his cheek? Please, come on. Okay, here's Miss Toad. She's toading up the official line. Some of us have not changed our positions. Neither rape survivors nor Jussie Smollett are obligated to prosecute merely because they are victims of a crime in order to survive allegations of being a right-wing troll or of making stuff up. The crickets. Okay, so yeah, see, they're trying to enforce the official line. And now this is interesting. This is the very last post in DUmmieland that has anything to do with Jussie Smollette, and it was early this morning, February 14th. But you see, 2:56 a.m. That's before the Good Morning America interview. So that's it. If I'll tell you what, if I see a thread come up in DUmmieland or Daily Cause or wherever about the incredible softball interview of Jussie Smollette on Good Morning America, I'll do a Dummie FUnnies edition about that. But for now, face it, people just aren't buying his story. This is yet It's pretty much obvious. Yet another hate crime hoax. So, see you guys later.